All right, folks, welcome back. The Ford Fusion here. This is the one that we've made the call on the PCM, and we went through and found out it had some funky stuff going on, depending on which coils were plugged in. Hasn't been ideal conditions today to record in the shop, so I went ahead and have already done the work, and I put the ignition coils in. I've got the new PCM in, and I pulled the spark plugs out to have a look at those. Indeed, somebody had replaced them. I'm going to show you what I took out, and I haven't gone through and programmed it yet. I had the battery on the battery charger while I was eating lunch. I wanted to make sure that that was all the way up to snuff, and then we'll put it in a power supply and update the Ford FJDS tool to do the programming. But let me show you an interesting find, and I'll show you what happens to these and why it's very, very important that you have to remove and replace your ignition coils when you have the coil drivers go bad in these vehicles. And this is why right here. I wish you guys could smell this, but these coils have all exploded except for that one and this one. So we have two good ignition coils, and these are Ford Motorcraft. And if anybody's looked up the service bulletin on these, this is what they show in that bulletin. But the part that stinks, these things smell horrendous, so that's why I giggled at that. But the part that stinks is all the epoxy and stuff in here comes out, and it fills up the spark plug wells, and it makes a mess. But the smell from these things is atrocious. So we replaced them with Motorcraft coils, which he had already bought, and then the guy brought the PCM this morning right from Ford. So we got to send that back. And then the other good news is I was able to find all the jiggly bits that hold this thing together. I found the battery hold down. I found the bolt for that. I found the nuts and bolts for the battery tray. And then I found both of these nuts, and then this one back there for the power steering reservoir, and the bolt back there through the through one of the jiggly bits there. The power steering bracket. And then we put the intake and stuff back on how it's supposed to be. All the bolts in it were loose, so it's the guy was definitely in there, and put the clamps back. So I think we have it back how it could be. I want to go through and get it programmed now, and then just see if it runs. I'm gonna put this baby in power supply mode. That should be good. And then over here we've got our FJDS, and that should be all up and running. All right, and that's all up and running now. Typically you would leave the OG module in there, and we would do a PMI, and it would take the configuration data off from this, and then we'd rewrite it to the new one. Didn't really trust the old one, especially with the new coils, knowing there's some wiring issues. I think it's best to just do it like this. It's a little bit of a longer process, but same end results. So I'm using our Cardac 3 Plus. It's from Drew Technologies. And then we're using Ford FJDS, so it's their aftermarket programming software, I guess, if you will. I'm pretty fumbly on Fords. Don't do a lot of them, so you have to bear with me through this one. We're just watching blue bars come across the screen at this point. Once it gets this portion of the programming done, then we have to go through the security, and that's the thing with Ford. You got to make darn sure, well, most of them, not all of them, that you have two unique keys. You can't have a key and then a department store key, a clone. You got to have two actual unique keys in most cases. So we got to do the PAT security, passive anti-theft security, and then the parameter reset, and then it should be good. But that's all we're seeing right now. It's just a lot of hurry up and wait and watching blue bars. Like I say, Ford, I'm just a little fiddly with, much more versed in GMs, All right, so now, because we didn't inhale any of this configuration information from the old PCM, we have to go through and select all these manually, like tire size, automatic, traction control, stuff like that, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. So I'll go through and put this stuff in. And then after that information's entered, we wait for more blue bars to scroll across the screen. Security light's still flashing, obviously, but yeah, they're definitely a bit of a longer process than General Motors. We're done with the programmable parameters. Now we've got to wait our 600 seconds, so 10 minutes, to gain access to security, to learn the keys and do the parameter reset. All right, so this is where I always screw up. Let's see, so we're gonna shut it off, install a different key on, wait a couple seconds, key off, stick the other key in, just see. So we still have a security light. I may have goofed up. We may still have to do the keys. I believe so. Well, folks, this is super disappointing. I was editing the Ford video here, and it was near the end of it where I was doing the parameter reset and reprogramming the keys, and evidently something is wrong with my camera, and it's got me a little freaked out because I've got quite a few more videos to edit, but somehow I've lost audio, the camera's not focusing correctly, and the whole end part of this video is gone. It's no good. I could do a voiceover on it, I guess, but it's kind of irrelevant. Needless to say, I was having some problems doing the parameter reset and programming the keys. I ended up using the Altel IM508, programmed the keys, did the parameter reset, not particularly in that order. And then the car starts and runs fine and everything was good. It was a happy ending. But I'm just very disappointed that all that footage, I probably had, 8 or 10 more clips that I wanted to show you guys. We get it running and everybody's good. We celebrate. But here we are. You're getting me in my basement editing my video, only to find out that it's no good. So anyhow, that's it. Sorry to disappoint you guys. You're going to have to take my word for it. Car starts, runs, and drives. Car's long gone. Guy took it. Everybody's happy. So anyhow, sorry for the faux here on the video. But my gosh, I hope the rest of my videos I recorded aren't like this. That'll be super disappointing. So thanks for watching. So that's it, folks. Sorry the programming portion of this video isn't great. Like I said, I don't speak a lot of Ford, so I'm a little fumbly using their software to program just because we don't do a lot of it. We're GM people here, and that's it. So I just want to give you guys a little closure. Obviously we diagnosed it in the first part, but just at least show you that what happened with those coils and why it's very important that you have to change them. And that's it. And I'm glad that we found all the other jiggly bits to put the car back together all the way. So this guy should be happy now because I think he bought it as a mechanic special, not running. Going to put a little bit into it, and it's not all rotted out, so it should make him a good car. That's it. Questions, comments, concerns, and Steve Facebook. You guys know the routine. Just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.